Maine is a state in the New England region of the United States. Bordered by New Hampshire to the west, the Atlantic Ocean to the southeast, and the Canadian provinces of New Brunswick and Quebec to the northeast and northwest, respectively. Maine is the 12th smallest by area, the 9th least populous, and the 13th least densely populated of the 50 U.S. states. It is also the northeasternmost among the contiguous United States, the northernmost state east of the Great Lakes, the only state whose name consists of a single syllable, and the only state to border only one other state. Maine is known for its jagged, rocky coastline, low, rolling mountains, heavily forested interior, picturesque waterways, and its seafood cuisine, especially lobster and clams. There is a humid continental climate throughout most of the state, including coastal areas. Its most populous city is Portland, and its capital is Augusta. For thousands of years after the glaciers retreated during the last ice age, indigenous peoples were the only inhabitants of the territory that is now Maine. At the time of European arrival, several Algonquin-speaking peoples inhabited the area. The first European settlement in the area was by the French in 1604 on St. Croix Island, by Pierre de Goua, Sieur de Mons. The first English settlement was the short-lived Popham colony, established by the Plymouth Company in 1607. A number of English settlements were established along the coast of Maine in the 1620s. Although the rugged climate, deprivations, and conflict with the local peoples caused many to fail, as Maine entered the 18th century, only a half-dozen European settlements had survived. Loyalist and Patriot forces contended for Maine's territory during the American Revolution. During the War of 1812, the largely undefended eastern region of Maine was occupied by British forces with the goal of annexing it to Canada via the colony of New Ireland, but returned to the United States following failed British offensives on the northern border, mid-Atlantic and south, which produced a peace treaty that restored the pre-war boundaries. Maine was part of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts until 1820, when it voted to secede from Massachusetts to become a separate state. On March 15, 1820, under the Missouri Compromise, it was admitted to the Union as the 23rd state. There is no definitive explanation for the origin of the name, Maine, but the most likely is that early explorers named it after the former province of Maine in France. Whatever the origin, the name was fixed for English settlers in 1665 when the English King's Commissioners ordered that the province of Maine be entered from then on in official records. The state legislature in 2001 adopted a resolution establishing Franco-American Day, which stated that the state was named after the former French province of Maine. Other theories mention earlier places with similar names or claim it is a nautical reference to the mainland. Captain John Smith, in his description of New England, laments the lack of exploration. Thus you may see, of this 2,000 miles, more than half is yet unknown to any purpose. No, not so much as the borders of the sea are yet certainly discovered. As for the good and true substances of the land, we are for most part yet altogether ignorant of them. We NLESSE it be those parts about the Bay of Chesapeake and Sagadahoc. But only here and there we touched or have seen a little the edges of those large dominions, which do stretch themselves into the Maine. God doth know how many thousand miles. Note that his description of the mainland of North America is the Maine. The word, Maine, was a frequent shorthand for the word, mainland. Attempts to uncover the history of the name of Maine began with James Sullivan's 1795 History of the District of Maine. He made the unsubstantiated claim that the province of Maine was a compliment to the Queen of Charles I, Henrietta Maria, who once owned the province of Maine in France. Many historians quoted this until the 1845 biography of that queen by Agnes Strickland established that she had no connection to the province. Further, King Charles I married Henrietta Maria in 1625, 3 years after the name Maine first appeared on the charter. A new theory put forward by Carol B. Smith Fisher in 2002 postulated that Sir Ferdinando Gorges chose the name in 1622 to honor the village where his ancestors first lived in England. rather than the province in France. Quote, Maine appears in the Domesday Book of 1086 in reference to the county of Dorset, which is today Broad, Maine, just southeast of Dorchester. The view generally held among British place name scholars is that Maine in Dorset is Brythonic, corresponding to modern Welsh, Main, plural, Maine, or Maine. Some early spellings are Maine 1086, Maine 1200, Meines 1204, Maine 1236. Today the village is known as Broad Maine, which is primitive Welsh or Brythonic, Main, meaning rock or stone.